I'm Jenny Chin, Executive Director of the Kansas Historical Society. We're here today at the headquarters of the Kansas Historical Society in Topeka. This week we are hosting 24 teachers from across the state, most of them elementary school teachers, and they're here to study how to use a primary source in their classroom. A primary source is sort of the raw material of history, and in our collections here we have letters, newspapers, diaries, photographs, and artifacts from the past, all depicting aspects of Kansas history and Kansas government. Part of our mission here is to help parents and educators across the state educate our children about why the past is important and what we can learn from it. Shall we go inside? I'm with Mary Madden, Director of Education with the Kansas Historical Society. And Mary, I want to ask you, what were your goals for this seminar?
Well, we had three goals. One was to introduce the teachers to our digital repository, Kansas Memory. We also are training them on how to use the Library of Congress digital online resource materials, and some of our materials in Kansas are on the Library of Congress website as well, and then also how to teach using primary sources. The Library of Congress is our major partner. We're very fortunate in that they award grants to regional districts, and we applied for and received a grant, and this is our second year.
And you also mentioned Kansas Memory. Can you explain what that is?
Kansas Memory is our digital repository. The Historical Society has a wealth of primary sources, artifacts, documents, photographs, and this is our opportunity, our avenue for putting those out online so that people have more access to them.
Now, I know that we had 24 teachers here. How were those teachers selected?
Well, first we decided that we wanted to do the workshop for K-6 teachers because they had the least experience working with primary sources. And then we put out a series of emails. The State Department of Education helped promote it, and we received a number of applications. It was a competitive process, and we ended up with teachers from all over the state and in each grade level. There's lots of ways to use primary sources to teach history, and it's really, we believe and we promote it, it's the best way because it makes history real.
Now, Mary, the Historical Society has worked hard, as you and I both know, to develop materials that are appropriate in the classroom. Can you explain some of those materials we have?
Sure. We have really, in the last 10 years, focused heavily on what K-12 educators need. And we've developed a series of lessons called Read Kansas, which uses our primary sources and ties into reading, or now Common Core standards, because reading, history is reading. Social studies, reading primary source letters, documents, that's reading. The other types of programs that we've developed include our Project Archaeology units. They're for grades 4 through 7, and they're on the topics of migration, shelter, and agriculture. We have traveling resource trunks that go out to the classroom to get another aspect, another dimension of history to the students. Reading historic documents, they have to do questioning activities, look at archaic terms possibly, or phrases that are out of context. So it does involve a lot of thinking and questioning skills. Also, dealing with the primary sources helps with retention because you have that physical connection to the past.
What was their response to the seminar? Did any of them tell you how they liked what they learned here?
I have to say, I think it was a big success. They were very pleased with the courses, the coursework we went through, and got a lot of positive responses that they're going to take it back to their classrooms and use our resources, share that information. And also, I have to say that I am very impressed with the teachers we have in Kansas.
One teacher said about this had changed her teaching style.
When she was presenting her lesson plan, she said that the workshop this week has changed her thinking about how she is going to teach social studies, that it has really made a difference in how she wants children to learn history. We study the past to understand the present so we can move forward into the future.